This is David Garofalo of the Cigar Authority. You're listening to the Leaf and Ash Podcast, the cigar podcast that I listen to.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Sip and Smoke Podcast with us, the Leaf and Ash, and you know who I be. I'm Panda, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I got to do that for old Donnie Boy. You know, Donnie Boy was the Panda last week. But, guys, right now, I'm going to introduce you to my two compadres. For now, we're still waiting for our guests. We just see what happens. Jay and also PC coming in hot just the same. But as you guys know, the show must go on. As you guys know, on the top left, no other than the one-finger pecker sensation, JJ, a.k.a. Mutt, JJ, the cigar rep, JJ, Big Sky Judd, a.k.a. Man, I'm running out of breath, man, just with all these names, man.
I'm telling you.
But you started to remind me of Apollo Creed when he introduced him in Rocky. You know, he got introduced.
You know, the other day when, we brought that up on Discord, I think Pat said, maybe I'm part of the CIA. Said, I guess you'll have to find out.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, unbelievable. And guys, you know this guy here, he likes to be now known as Carmen from his and hers favorite, whatever. He's still our bougie of all bougie, Douglicious himself, Don. What's going on, Donnie boy?
What's going on, man? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday, man. Well, guys, I'm excited for this guest. Hopefully he's able to pop on. Like I know he's on Cali time, so they're 3 hours behind us. So, like I said, we sent them some messages, giving them a heads up. Hey, man, we're waiting for you. We are live already, baby. Like I said, the show must go on. But until he gets on, talk to me, baby. What are you guys sipping on? Obviously, we know what we're smoking, but which one? Start with you, Donnie boy.
So I'm smoking the Cromartie Cigars Habano. First time I've had this, and I am sipping on some of the Hibiki.
Nice. Oh. You gotta love I love the Hibiki, man. I love it. That was just so. I mean, that's that whiskey's so damn good. JJ, what are you smoking on? Which one you smoking? What you sipping on?
I'm smoking the Cromartie Cigars Maduro. And I'm washing her down with some Russell 10-year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your boy Panda, he also too, Donnie boy, is smoking the Habano. I mean, look at that band. It's a pretty looking band, you know.
That is a pretty band.
You know, and so far I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I'm just hydrating, guys. I got my Powerade. Your boy Panda is still kind of recovering. Trying to get things going, you know. But other than that, man, so how's you guys Tuesday? I know I'll start off with you, JJ, because JJ, you've been traveling, you know, like a mofo. I think what we need to do at the end of the year, Don, we need to add up the miles between him and PC. Who's got the most miles, you know? Earning his bouginess. Look at this.
Yeah.
Smoking the Don Carlos number 2. But so what you been up to, JJ?
You know, today alone was just under 500 miles. Went up to Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, you really are freaking you really are trying to catch up to PC.
Dude, I left at about 6:20 this morning and got in the door about 6:15.
Wow.
Yeah, I've just been hitting it hard. You know, I really want to build this. You know, I got a good opportunity here, and I just want to build the best territory I can, and just give out the best customer service I can. You know, because without those relationships, that partnership ain't worth a dang.
Yeah, and that's true, right? I mean, and the thing is this, right? And it's crazy because we've gotten to see you, like, I don't want to say grow up, but definitely come out of your shell.
Yes.
You know, in the last couple of years. And just to think, right? It was not that long ago that we would barely get 2 words out of you. And now, you become this little self-employed per se, entrepreneur / rep going out. And now it's like, dude, you're on a roll, man. And we're definitely happy and proud for you. You've been killing it with opening up accounts, man.
Yes, I've been very fortunate. And I just, one of those things I've learned, you got to go in humble. I'm trying to sell cigars, not cars. It's a different aspect. It's a different angle. Like I said, I'm all about, if the guy says, hey, you want to sit down and you want to smoke one of these with me, I'm never going to tell him no, even though I might be short on time, because that builds the bond, that builds the partnership.
Right.
And
JJ, how do you feel that Panda told us you wanted his favorite?
I know. I got something for him. But
hey, listen, I picked him if the apocalypse came out, right? Hello, right? Tell him, right?
Hey.
Clear left, clear right.
Right now, dude.
Breach. I mean, these are things that unfortunately the other 2 compadres wouldn't understand.
Hey, never less than a 38 out of 40.
Hello.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, exactly, man.
Hey, if you don't expect to be, if 99% is good enough, you'll never reach 100%. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, wow. Someone's a little bitter.
Yeah.
Hey, you're Carmen's favorite, man. What more do you want?
That's true. I'd rather be her favorite than yours.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And today, your whiskey's actually identifying as whiskey today,
I know, right?
You want to know what? Speaking of identifying, there's been a change in Dawn in the last couple of weeks.
Yes, they have. I'm not the only one that has noticed that. I am glad I'm not the only one.
He's really turned into Thugalicious.
Thugalicious. What do you mean by that, JJ?
Oh, dude, you got to see this. I found this scrolling on Instagram, dude.
Oh, no.
And I said, Don, what the hell is going on, brother?
Yo, sorry.
It's okay.
Apologies. It went to my spam folder. So I was like, I'm looking. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, all right, let me check spam. And yeah, so here we are. Thank you for being patient. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
No doubt. Well, guys, as you know, here he is, our guest of honor, Keith Cromartie. Mr. Cromartie, how are we doing this evening?
Doing good, man. Enjoying this lovely Tuesday evening. How about you guys? How's everybody doing?
We're doing well, man. Just trying to get things going, and we're
yes, sir.
Two of the 3 are smoking the Habano, and
cool.
JJ smoking the Maduro.
Okay.
PC coming in hot just the same.
Oh yeah.
So how you been, man? I know you've been out there hustling and bustling.
Yes, indeed, man. Right now, I'm getting ready to work on my next cigar. So, me and my dad. Well, this time my dad's gonna come with me to Nicaragua. We're gonna work on a stick together. So, so that's gonna be fun. I'm actually working on updating the cigar bins, so giving it more like a embossed look, like luxury look. So I'm planning on working on that. Just ordered some new boxes. So yeah, I'm just hustling, man, getting it started, man, making moves.
I couldn't wait. I looked at that Habano. I smoked a Habano like 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you right now, it was a fantastic cigar.
All right, great.
Fighting myself, man.
Hey,
brother, you got some love from the community cigar spot.
Hey, what up?
Yeah, Greg and
Angel. Man, real good dudes, man.
Yeah. Oh, Angel got you food like that? He got you drinking that Kool-Aid?
Yeah, man. Honest, like I hit him up. So, all right, before I know you guys have your process, but how I met Angel, he actually had won a contest last October. And so he had an opportunity to win a bottle of wine and like 4 of my cigars to pair with the wine. So, time goes by. I'm like, all right, and then I reach out to him. I was like, hey, did you ever get the prize? He was like, no, I didn't. I've just been waiting. I was like, really? I was like, it's been like 3 months. So I was like, you know what? I reached back out to him this January and I sent him 4 cigars. And next thing you know it, he just posted some stuff and he got the cigars, posted some stuff, and he was just like, "Here you go, like, hey, we're doing something." He, just pretty much he did some great pictures, and I was like, "Man, that's my cigar." I was like, "Wow, it look good, it look good."
Angel,
So
he's beautiful at social medias. He can
Yeah.
post some beautiful stuff.
Yes, indeed, real good dude. But yeah, man. So sorry, that was a tidbit, but yeah.
No. Listen, I was on with them last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to meet Angel at Ebor last year. Him and his wife when I was helping Ish out at Bam. And it's crazy because for the most part is quiet. You know what I mean? He the man. I mean, but he's definitely a thug on that on that keyboard, man.
Yeah.
So are you trying to say he's got keyboard muscles?
Oh yeah.
Oh, but
Angel, do your thing.
You gotta understand between Angel and sorry about this, Panda. There's about a 19-inch height difference.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm standing up today. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, Panda, if you get tired of sitting there, you can stand up anytime you want.
Well, I am standing up right now. I am standing up. I figure Angel might appreciate I was sitting on the phone books yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, today your boy Panda, he's still having a little discomfort. That's why he's standing up. But other than that, man, it was a great show yesterday. I was on there. It was 2 hours.
Yeah.
We got to chop it up, really good. And then of course Angel hit me with the uppercuts, man, with these questions and really put me on the spot. But it's all good. It's all out of fun and love, and that's what we're all about, right? Building this community.
Yes,
sir. Definitely. Really
so
good.
let's get to it, Keith. Let's get right into it, man. So how long have you been in the business right now?
Honestly, last month it's been 1 year. It's been 1 year.
Okay.
So, and I've been smoking cigars since I was 16. So my dad gave me my first cigar right out of high school, like the day of my graduation, had my cap and gown, walk out, got the diploma in my hand. My dad was like, "Here." Matter of fact, I got the cigars right here. So he gave me these. It was the Tuscanellos. So yeah, it's a machine roast stick. I was surprised. I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, it's a cigar." I was like, "Really? It looked like bark." He's like, "No, it's a cigar. Just enjoy it." So I lit it up and I started puffing it. I'm in my cap and gown, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel good." He's like, "Yeah, you graduated. Enjoy." I was like, "Okay, cool." So, and the rest was history. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't expect to actually start a business. For it to come into fruition, it was real surprising. So I tell everybody it was divine timing, right place, right time type situation, and opportunity presented itself. And I was like, you know what, like, if I don't take it, I know I'm gonna regret it. So that's what happened. I was like, let me just dive in and just make it happen. So there you go, right there.
There's a proud papa right there.
Gotta love Pop coming on the show. I love that. Love it.
I appreciate it. I think Mom's watching too. What's up, Mom? So good. So yeah, but so it just started happening, and then when I met Luis Chabovilla, he has his own factory, and his factory brand is called Flor de Mi Pueblo. They actually were at PCA this past April in New Orleans. And so I met him at my old job. I used to work at a brewery back in the day. It was called Speakeasy. And their whole setup was like Prohibition era style beers and stuff like that. And so I was kegging the beer, packaging it and stuff like that. I had an opportunity to kind of get into sales a little bit. And then the company went bankrupt back in like 2017. So I was like, all right, well, there's that. And so they revamped, and I still have friends who were still working there. And so last year, going to 2024, I met Luis, a friend of mine, Ahmad, hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, we're doing a cigar event with beers, come through. You were the cigar guy." And like every day after work, I had a cigar in my hand. People were like, "Hey, like tell me about this stick." I was like, "Oh, hey, what are you looking for?" So I was that guy. And so he told me about it, and I was like, all right. I stopped by. It was like, I think it was a few days after Father's Day or something like that. And went there. I got my beer, and I went in the back, and I ran into Luis. And mind you, I didn't know he was the owner. So, I'm just used to somebody of the company, who, not necessarily the owner, but just someone there who works for the company, a rep. And so I buy 6 sticks. I bought like 3 Maduros and 3 Habanos. And, I sat there, and I'm a Maduro smoker. I love Maduros. That's my thing. And I smoke them in the morning. So I get the sticks. I sit down and cut it, light it, and I started smoking it. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. It was smooth. Wasn't harsh at all the way through. And so Luis is like walking around me. So I'm kind of looking like, did I do something wrong? Everything cool? Because he's kind of like, he's just looking like, okay. He finally approaches me and we start talking. He's like, what do you think? And I tell him like what I think of the cigar. I was like, hey, this is great. I definitely give this to somebody who's never had a Maduro cigar before, and it's definitely strong enough to be for a Maduro connoisseur like me. I was like, yeah, this is great. I'll smoke this in the morning, noon, night, whatever, anytime, quick smoke. It's real good. And so we just started talking from there, and then I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to get in the industry. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to do a lounge or if I'm going to start a brand, but I just want to be a part of it. And so he was like, okay. I was like, by any chance, do you think you can introduce me to the owner? And he was like, yeah, I am the owner. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So we exchanged contact, and he hits me up the next day. So usually I call people whenever, someone gives me their number. I call them, hey, what's up? I do that follow through. And he calls me, and, we met up for lunch, and he was like, so how serious are you about doing this? I was like, I'm very serious. Like, I definitely see myself doing it. I just appreciate the opportunity. He's like, all right, well, I own my own factory. And I was like, okay. So I was kind of looking at him. My daughter, sorry, one of my daughters is over here waving. But yeah. All right. But yeah, so he was like, yeah, how serious are you? I was like, I'm very serious. So the following day, he gets on FaceTime. He reaches out to his uncle, who's in Esteli, Nicaragua. And, I get a quick tour of the factory. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm looking like, all right, like this is getting kind of real, okay. And then month after month, we just kept talking. And I had a friend of mine come up with the logo. So when it came to Cromartie, and of course, it's my last name. And surprisingly, a few people did not know that was my last name. It was like, so why did you pick Cromartie? I'm like, it's my last name. It was like, oh, really? Wow. Okay, cool. I'm like, yeah. So a friend of mine, he had came up with some logos, and that's when I decided to go with the crow head and the 2 C's, the backward C's. And I was like, I never really seen something like that before. I think it would grab people's attention. And so, I'm going to go with that. And he's like, okay, cool. So we went with that. I showed Luis. He's like, okay, cool, good. He was like, what color of the bands that you want? He was like, please know that I don't make the cigar bands. He was like, we have, people that we work with and another factory in Esteli. I was like, okay. He's like, even when it comes to your boxes, like, we don't do everything in-house. We just focus on the cigar. So I was like, okay, cool. And so I was like, hey, black and gold. So I'm a Saints fan. So that's why I picked black and gold. I love it. Why that face, Panda? What's up? You a Bucks fan?
I'm a New Yorker, man.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, go Giants. Wait, Jets or Giants?
I'm a Jet fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Jet fan. Yeah, and the crazy part is that because in New York, right, it's normally if you're a Jet fan, you're a Met fan, and an Island fan, and I'm not. I'm a Yankee fan and Ranger fan.
Right.
And the crazy part, I don't even know when the heck I became a Jet fan. I just know for as long as I can remember. I mean, I remember as a kid rooting for the Giants, But,
right.
But definitely, I ended up converting. I think maybe I just wanted to be different,
Okay.
Go against the grain with my family just to go, whatever.
Right. No, I did the same thing. I'm from Cali, born and raised San Francisco. So, Niners. Everybody loves the Niners, red and gold. And so freshman year in high school, the Niners were going against the Saints. I forgot, which game was it or something. But, everybody was hating on the Saints. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come to school with a Saints jersey. So East Bay Magazine, you were able to have a custom jersey. And I was like, all right. So I put Cromartie 89. Had the Saints jersey on, came to school. I got hated on. Everybody's like, what? What is this? Like, I'm like, man, this is what it is. And then they finally won, and then the rest was history. So I was like, hey, I was before the championship ring. I was before. So
when you said East Bay, that unlocked memories of high school. I haven't seen one of the magazines, and
Yeah.
so,
Good times, man.
So let's fast forward now. All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, talking about being at the right place at the right time, meaning the right person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's not everyone is that fortunate, and it's good to know that you're taking advantage of the circumstances and actually, dedicating yourself to the
Right.
cigar industry itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you want? I mean, because right now, like I said, I just started smoking with this Habano, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a great blend. What can you tell us about this particular blend that you know, the Habano and the Maduro?
So when it comes to when I went to the factory last year, I was out there in Esteli for a week. Well, we started off in Esteli, and then we went to Granada. That's where the owner of the factory, he's born and raised there. And so for me, like I said, I'm a Maduro smoker. So when it came to doing the Habano, like I'm used to Habanos kind of being, I say, like, they're on the medium body side. Like you really don't get that kick. And so when it came to doing that, I was like, hey, I smoked 5 cigars to get the blend I wanted when it came to the Habano and the Maduro. And so when it came to doing the Habano, I was like, I need you guys to add a little more Ligero. And so I didn't know that it was called that until the factory. So I was like, hey, add more kick, add more It was okay, yeah, Ligero. I'm like, yeah. So once they did it, I was like, okay. I think this is it. I was like, I love it. It's my cigar, but I gotta make sure that other people love it. So I was like, all right, well, they kind of explained to me that process and was like, hey, like just kind of be mindful that, hey, this is a product that you're going to be selling. You don't want it super all the way out there, but you want it to be approachable for everybody. I was like, okay, cool. So they was like, just keep that in mind. So they added a little bit more Ligero to kind of add that kick to it, and then that's when I was like, all right, this is great. Like let's go with this. And then when it came to the Maduro, I told them that I wanted it to be smooth as possible. I was like, but I definitely wanted to. I basically told them I wanted to be like a light, full body cigar. And so, like, the thing is, like, I like heavy hitter cigars. Like, I get that from my dad. Like, we like the heavy nicotine. Like, you're gonna start sweating. You're gonna get that nicotine buzz. You like, oof. So me and my dad enjoy those type of cigars. But again, I'm making a cigar for the masses. And so I was like, hey, let's stick with I wanted full body, but make it very approachable. A lot of people. The thing is this too: when you are making a cigar and you're working with the factory, they have the leaves are fresher. They've just kind of been aged for some time, and so when you first smoke the cigars, it kind of tastes different. So after that process, they put it in the seasoning room, let it rest for a couple weeks. I want to say I think in Nicaragua they have a minimum of like 72 hours or something like that. But I had mine resting for like almost a month, and then I finally got them. So I placed my order in. I went down there the last week of May, beginning of June, placed my order, and then I got my first shipment of cigars in July of last year. So I want to say like July 3rd. And I had to go to customs. It was a lot. It's a lot of money getting started. I'm looking at my bank account. I was like, man, I'm really doing this, and hopefully people love them. Like I was like, well, I'm gonna be stuck with like 100. I had at that time I ordered like 1,500 cigars, and again, I paid for a total of 20,000 cigar bands, 10 for the Maduro, 10 for the Habano. I got like maybe 100 cigar boxes with bait costs, so it's just a lot of out-of-pocket costs. And I was like, again, I didn't have no investors; it was just me. So a lot of working OT and just stacking money, and then so it was an experience. Even registering the brand, so it is registered in Nicaragua. So for example, when I work on a new cigar, it has to have my logo, the crow with the 2 C's on there, for it to get shipped out. So I was like, okay, cool. So Luis explained that whole process to me. And basically I got an international business, so I'm happy about that. So, it's been good. So I've just been enjoying it, but yeah.
Nice. So you actually got to go and sit down and do the fumas and stuff like that. And, we've had the luxury of being able to do that. And that is an experience that I think as a brand owner, you should take the time and dedication to go to a factory. Excuse me. We kind of lucked out because the guy that does our cigars, he lives 7 minutes away from us. And we were able, when all the guys came down, to everybody to have that experience, step by step until the final product is completed.
Right.
It is something to be commended, right? Because you honestly can talk about your cigar in its totality, right? From the very beginning, from the fillers, which fillers with the Ligero that combined well, what didn't work, and then obviously then the binder and then the wrapper. Then obviously you come up with your final product. And
Right.
it is definitely an experience that, I tell people it's unfortunate that a lot more people don't get to experience that. If you're ever trying to get into the business, like you said, it is expensive. It's not an inexpensive. It's not cheap to get going. You know what I mean? Especially in regards to the startup, right? The startup is always the most, right? Because you got to worry about your LLC. You're gonna patent, or you're gonna your EIN, all this stuff that people don't think about.
Right.
Until you start working the system and you try to get into the business. But I got more questions, but I'm gonna pass I'm gonna pass the mic up to my boy Donnie Boy, or like we like to call him Thuglicious. And,
up in Discord, he's getting rough, bro.
Oh, he's rough, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him fool you, Keith.
Play poker.
Got you.
Man, I'm the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Last famous words, Keith. Right.
I think Jeffrey Dahmer said that too.
Exactly.
Ouch. Hey Keith, I appreciate you jumping on with us, man. This is it's an honor to talk to you, man. Hey, I was doing some research on you, and I was watching some other stuff, and I did hear you say you were a Saints fan, so I went and grabbed. I was just in New Orleans a couple weeks ago, so I went and grabbed.
That's what I'm talking about. You see it? Who that?
I'm not a Saints fan, but
it's cool.
I wanted to honor you with the New Orleans Cup. I was just there a couple weeks ago, so
good time, man.
One of my questions for you is what roadblock or hurdle or just something that you've encountered in the last year that you weren't expecting, like that I hate to say it, but that oh shit moment, like what was that for you? Where
I've dealt with that a good amount of the time. So like the first oh shit moment for me was the cigar bans. So again, this wasn't the manufacturer's fault. It was the other person who made the cigar bans. So the Maduros had a right here. Let me say. So the Maduro had you're able to see the full crow head, but for some reason it had like a block of it was like a square gold mark on there on a bunch of them. So I'm like going through, and I just got it was the first day I just got my cigars. I spent all this money. I'm like, okay, cool, and then I started going through them and looking. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? So, I called Luis. He's like, hey, what do you mean? What's going on? So I sent him pictures. He was like, okay, well, please know, we can rectify the situation. I'm not blaming you guys. You guys have to focus on the cigar. I'm disappointed with the cigar band guy because it's like, you didn't see that? You did not pay attention. And, Luis kind of broke it down to me. He was like, hey, man, we can take all the Maduros back and we can, tweak them and ship them back out later to you this week, or you just kind of want to go with the flow. And again, half of me was like, look, this is a make or break moment. Things are going to happen. So I was like, let me just roll with the punches. So, and again, I had 1,500 cigars. And so I want to say maybe 200 of the Maduros had that mark. And I was like, forget it. I just took it on the chin. I was like, it is what it is. It has to be about the cigar. If anybody asks, I'll just let them know. And surprisingly, no one thought about it. No one looked at it and was like, hey, what's wrong with the cigar band? No one said anything. So I was like, okay, cool. Ooh, all right, great. No one tripped. Everybody enjoyed the cigar. So that was the first, oh shit. The second one was, like I said, I just got my cigars. I went to a cigar lounge shop in Alameda, California. And, I had, I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? I got all these cigars. How do I go about it and, get people to buy it? And so I went straight to this shop and, introduced myself. I wore a nice shirt and Went in there, she had the cards ready. My wife made some cards for me. So I was like, hey, how you doing? My name's Keith. This, that. I said my whole story. And she just looks at me, oh, okay. She's looking at the card. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. She's like, well, leave a couple sticks behind. So I gave her 10 cigars. I was like, I gave her 5 Habano, 5 Maduro. I'm like, here you go. All right, let's go. And so I was waiting for her to call me back. She did not call me back. So I called her. And she was like, hey, we placed a large order. And, we kind of need you to wait, but we could buy 1 box. And she was like, matter of fact, my husband really enjoyed the Maduro. And I was like, okay, well, what about the Habano? She's like, he didn't like it that much. I was like, well, look, I only got 2 cigar blends. Like, I just came out. And I'm like, you want to buy 1 box? I was like, you don't want to buy 2? Like, she's like, nah, we feel like we have to have the cigars in our shop that we enjoy and things like that. So I was like, well, did you enjoy it? She was like, well, I didn't smoke it. She's like, my husband smoked it. So I was like, all right. And that was like an oh shit moment. So where I was like, okay, I can let this person buy this 1 box of cigars and kind of go from there, or I could just take this as a learning lesson and just believe in my product and stand behind it. And I was like, I definitely was adamant whenever I go to lounges and shops, like, take both of them, because I only got 2. I don't have like 10. I only got 2. And I want to give people that experience. I said the Cromartie experience, to have 2 completely different cigars, and to really enjoy them. I was like, if you want something a little bit more full body, then yeah, go for the Maduro. If you want something that's kind of like, it's not a super light body cigar. I actually say with the Habano, I consider it like a medium, more on the full body side, just a little bit, just a tad bit on the scale. And I really was like, what? I just want people to enjoy both. So I was like, all right, I declined. I told her, hey, no, I'll come back to you later on. She's like, yeah, whenever you get in other shops, like, let me know, and we kind of go off of there. So at that moment, I was like, all right, so you don't want to take a chance on me. I'm like, okay, even though I told you the story, this is my own money out of my own pocket. At the time I was 35, I'm 36 now. I was like, okay, I don't know too many 30-year-olds who have their own cigar brand and just started something from the ground up. So I was like, all right, well, if you said, she said no, well, I said no. And I, just kept it pushing. And now I'm in actually 3 lounges. 1 in Las Vegas called Tap and Ash, and 2 out here in California, Don's Tobacconist, which is in Burlingame, and Stogie's Lounge in Lodi, California. So, I was like, all right, and those just kind of happened fairly recently. So, like, I did a cut and light in Vegas, which was in May, and then a few weeks after, I wound up getting my next 2 lounges. So, it just worked out. So, I could have been in a situation where I was like, you know what? She's probably right. Let me just give her this 1 box and just go from there. I was like, nah, you know what? Let me just try it out and see what I can do. And, I understand what these cigars were about and what they meant to me. So, I definitely wanted to get that going. So, yeah.
Well,
sorry,
awesome.
it's a lot. Sorry.
No, that's good, man.
I appreciate it.
So that kind of parlays into my next question. So, other than the local lounges, is there somewhere that people can go to get your cigars?
Yeah, well, so if you guys are ever in Las Vegas, go to Tap and Ash Social Club. They got a nice humidor, real good people. The owner, his name is Melvin, and I believe his wife is also the co-owner. Her name is Michelle. So yeah, real good people, had a good experience. Then, like I said, if you ever in California, you can go to Stogie's, which is in Lodi. Now, that's a drive. That's an hour and some change away from me. I stay in San Pablo. So, and then Burlingame is a little bit past San Francisco, so South City. And then, yeah, if you guys want to order, you can check out Cromartie Cigars on Instagram. DM me, and, we can make it happen from there. Take Cash App, Zelle, Apple Pay, whatever's clever. And I'll just send them out to you. So, yeah.
Awesome. Nice. So you're centrally located in California, right?
Yes,
we talk a lot about the different states and the taxes.
Yeah.
How has that been for a startup like yourself, and a new brand dealing with the, because California's got that heavy tax on there. So how's that been for you?
I want to say it was 54. Now I think it went down to 51. But still, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So to work it in there, and then plus me paying customs, I go to SFO, I pick them up from customs, things like that. So it's a lot. But the only thing that I have to say about when it comes to California that's really annoying is they did like a unflavored tobacco list, and basically it's a situation where you have to be on this list to be qualified to distribute in California. And
Right.
so I seen it, and they really haven't been enforcing it per se. It looks like they only been putting it towards like larger like legacy brands. So like Arturo Fuentes, they have like what 20 SKUs or something like that. So they want all the SKUs for their brand and things like that. And so I was like, all right, I only got 2, so I'm pretty much, but I am registered. I have the business license and everything. They haven't enforced it on me per se, but if they come knocking, then yeah, I'll comply and go from there. But I think that's the only thing that's kind of been an issue because it did, it did set something up because, it didn't exist before. You were able to just sell tobacco and things like that. And I believe the original age was 18. And I think now it's 21. So, they have their moments and things like that. But I have the tendency to just like, you know what, I'll figure it out later on down the line. If they come knocking, I'll answer and go from there. But like I said, I do own the business. I have the EIN number. I did all the paperwork and things like that, so I legally can distribute and sell to my cigars, in the state of California. So it's cool. It ain't too bad.
We have heard too that some of the bigger manufacturers have decided not to sell in California because of that.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay for all those SKUs. So, I think as a community we got to fight all this regulation stuff. They don't regulate this. It's a perfectly natural product and a perfectly legal product, and it just drives me crazy that we're dealing with all this stuff. Still,
it definitely does.
However many years into this journey that everybody is, we're still dealing with all this stuff. And And I get that not marketing to kids and all that kind of stuff, but none of us do that. None of us are marketing to kids.
Right. Nah. They even stopped doing it in cartoons. Like, you guys remember the old school Looney Tunes cartoons, back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. You'll see Bugs Bunny with a cigar. They cut all that out. So it's like, okay. And again, the only time I knew something about cigars was when, my dad introduced it to me. And again, I would see him smoke it periodically and stuff like that. Me and my younger sister, we would, I didn't know what it was. We didn't know what it was, but he would retro him. So we were like, oh, dude, do the blow through your nose. So every single time he'll smoke a cigar, he'll smoke his pipe, he'll blow it through his nose. So I do it again. So it'd be real funny. But the kids thing, like, I understand California's trying to do what they do. But again, you ain't gonna see somebody in middle school smoking a cigar. Like, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna see a kindergartner walk around with a cigar in their mouth and things like that. So it's like, come on, let's be real. I honestly feel, and I've talked to a few other people about it, they're just trying to find new ways to get money. Like, it's always something. Oh, let's do this, and then So
absolutely.
Leave our pockets alone. So
Yeah, and like Angel just said, we're proud members of the TPA, which is the Tobacco Products Association. Mm-hmm. And it's a smaller group right now, but we're growing big time, and we're a bunch of boutique brands and media and consumers and stuff that are we vowed to fight a lot of this stuff. So I don't know if you've ever looked at, if you want to, TPA.rocks is the website.
Yeah. I follow you guys. Yep.
It's it's a really, we meet on Wednesday nights, and it's a really, it's been eye-opening for us as we're like I said, we're a small cigar brand as well, and a podcast. It's been eye-opening for us to we have a factory that is in there with us, Ish Olivan from ROCF factory, and so we get a lot of the inside information that we need to get going, man. Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah, Angel had told me about it, and then I had seen it. I think it was 2024. It was a show in Chicago, like a trade show in Chicago or something like that. It was like Pipes and Cigars or something.
Yep.
And that's how I kind of came across it. I think it's Angry Beavers cigars and then Cigar Clowns. So I'm seeing pictures, and again, this was 2024 or 2023. I'm just looking, okay, wow, they're doing it. I was like, well, if I ever get a cigar brand, I'll probably link up with them. But what I did like too is that I seen how they were talking about open up a lounge where the cigars that are part of the association would be featured in there. I was like, oh, that's real cool. So I thought that was pretty dope. And if I have time to go down, because I know you guys are doing your event again Is it in
October?
We're in Florida. Yeah, in October in Florida.
Pensacola.
So yes, I was
In Pensacola.
Pensacola.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So if I got an opportunity to do that, I'll make the trip and go from there, and then
But
meet everybody in
if you
person.
do hit us up, we'll all be there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're gonna be broadcasting live from there. So
go.
and then of course with our cigar brand, we're gonna be out there as well. But yeah, hit us up if you get out there, man. We'd love to meet you.
No, likewise,
Yep.
definitely do it.
All right, well, I'm gonna pass you on to JJ. I appreciate you coming on with us, man. And this is a fantastic cigar.
That was good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear.
I like this Habano.
Well, yeah. Please let the people know what notes you're tasting, because there are some people who want to know about that. Everyone's palate is different, so I know what I taste, but I want to know what you guys are tasting as you're smoking and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I killed that Habano 2 days ago, and it was great. This Maduro. I mean, and just looking at it, you can tell you put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into the cigar. I mean, the construction is, it's burns great. There's no crack, there's no bitterness. Everything about the cigar. I mean, you put a lot of time and effort in it, and it shows. And,
Definitely.
I say I'm actually a boutique cigar sales rep, and I know the challenges of trying to get into shops. It can be very many days I'm in my truck with my head down, and some days I'm just chest out, just happier than a 3-pecker puppy, when you get that order,
Right.
And, what do you think, because I know boutiques, it's a big pond out there. It's a very big pond. What do you think consumers and most shop owners misunderstand about boutique cigar companies?
It's kind of tough. It's hard. I say it's 50-50 because I've heard stories of people who fall in the boutique category, like myself, where they have the tendency, they don't know what they're talking about per se, so that kind of makes them a little bit apprehensive to kind of take them on and bring them in. So the owner at Tap and Ash, when we sat down, I had met him years before, and just in passing at an event back in 2023. But when I recently saw him back in December last year, we were talking, and we were smoking our cigars, and he was just asking questions, and I found out that there are people who they call them label slappers, and they just kind of get a cigar from a distributor that's been sitting in a warehouse for some time. It's already packaged, and they just take it out the package, put the band on there, and put the cellophane on it, and then call it a day. And so he was like, yeah, I wanted to make sure you're not that. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I want to make sure you actually went to the factory, built the rapport, went through all the whole process and things like that. I was like, I kind of thought everybody did. He was like, no. He was like, there are people who just go to somewhere in Miami, get cigars, and I got a cigar. Here you go, try it. And then he said people have the tendency of not knowing what's in their cigar, so they don't know what they're smoking. He was like, they're going around, it's a Habano, and he was like, okay, well, where's the wrapper from? So, for example, when it comes to my Habano, the wrapper is from Honduras and Nicaragua, Finland, and binder. And so he was like, he's like, I've came across people who want to be in my humidor and they don't know where it's from. So he was like, well, I can't invest in you if you don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And so, but I also feel, like I said, the other side of it too is like just giving, once you know that people have put in the time and energy and the research, the dedication to, putting a brand out there, I'm like, give them a chance,
Yeah.
If you have 30 brands in your humidor and you have a total of like 1,000 cigar boxes, I don't think buying 2 boxes from a boutique brand is going to make an issue, and I feel like from there, like this one humidor I was in, I'm not gonna say the name, but they how they kind of went about doing business, I feel it was a little shaky, and we sat down and talked, and so they had bought cigars off of me for a price that I was like, okay, cool, that's fine, but they marked it up twice as much, and so I was like, okay, wait a minute, like let's be fair, let's be fair. When you buy my boxes, I gave you a good deal on them. If you buy mine for like, let's say $7 or something, and I might just to get in your door, don't sell my cigar for $20 or $25. Don't. That's not cool. I was like, let's kind of meet somewhere in the middle. If you buy it for $7, sell it for $14 or something. let's be amicable in that situation. So I kind of see that side too. But yeah, so the label slappers, things like that. I feel like give people an opportunity when you know that they did their homework, they did their research, and give them a shot. You never know, just do a small order and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Also, too, I feel if like with the same humidor I was in, they were like, well, you sold out, and so I did my cut and light there, and the price was supposed to go up from when they were going to buy more cigars from me, and it was like, well, you got 2 cigars left. I was like, what do you mean? It was like, oh, now you still got 2 cigars in our humidor. I was like, okay, so out of the 30 cigars you bought, like they've been selling. I've been in your humidor since October. It's December. Like my cigars are selling. Like, and there's only 2 left. And you don't want to go up on the price on that? It was like, yeah, nah, And so that's when I saw the price point that they had it in there. I think it was like $20 or something like that. I was like, wait, you bought it for me for $7, but like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me like, I'm cool. So they bought more cigars, but yeah, I kind of stopped dealing with them. It was that. So yeah.
And I get that, here in the last couple of weeks, I've put in a lot of miles and I've been in a lot of different shops, and I've learned, I mean, you want to get the sale, but you also have to do what's best for you and the company you represent,
right?
Because you can go in there and you can tell if they're not interested, but you got to know, like when they buy those cigars, that tobacconist has to actively try to help move that cigar. And that's been a problem in the past. I'll go to a certain account and they'll be like, well, they've been here for a year. Yeah, it's time to reorder, but it's been a year. And then the guy says, but nobody here actively tries to sell anything in the humidor. I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, make it make sense. And in that situation, it's like when they were like, well, yeah, it's 2 cigars. It's like, I'm doing my job as, the brand, like, hey, go check this spot out, let them know, things like that. I do my end. And again, I'm like, hey, if you guys bought 2 boxes and you're talking about, oh, well, there's 2 cigars left. And I'm like, that's more of your problem. Like you gotta sell it. Now, if you bought 20 boxes, then that's a we problem. But if you just only bought 2, you guys should be active and like letting people know, hey, we just got this in, try it out. It's one of my personal favorites. We can go from there. And of course, like when I did my cut and light in Vegas, the owner was like, hey man, we're gonna decide. We're gonna leave the decision on you being the humidor up to our members. I was like, oh, okay. All right, that's cool. He's like, yeah, so if they decide that your cigar should be in our humidor, he's like, I love your cigar, but, they got it. I'm like, all right, I respect it. So a total of 55 people bought the cigar, and every single one of them went up to the owner, was like, hey, man, this needs to be in here. We love it. It's great. So, I'm like, all right, cool. A lot of people went in the humidor. They had like their go-to cigars like Placencia. They had got like Definition cigars, things like that. And I was in front of the humidor doing my cut and light, and I told them about myself, my brand, the blends and things like that. So they'll put those cigars back. They came back out, bought my cigars, and sat down and took pictures. And I'm like, man, I'm really surprised. Like, this is really good. I didn't expect that. I was like, well, if it wasn't good, I wouldn't have this opportunity to be in here. So, like, let's just take that in consideration too. And, I just thank them for the support and, just enjoying the cigar. And, but I feel like shop owners should just give boutique brands a shot, especially when you have the conversation with them and you know where they're at. I heard another story. Someone told me, there was like, a guy came in the shop and, he had actually put a printout over someone else's cigar box. And, slapped them, like, yeah, this is my box. Oh, okay, then, you can't work with somebody like that. Like, that's not cool. Or, someone comes in, hey, I have a Maduro. Okay, where's the Maduro from? And it's like, oh, well, it's a Maduro. That's all that I know. It's like, well, no, like, just do your research, ask the right questions, and see who they're about, and kind of go from there. If they don't check the boxes of, your criteria, then I can understand that. But if someone comes in, they put the time and energy, make it happen. You see their following that they have. You check out their social media and stuff. It's like, give them a shot. Like, it's not, people are going into the shop to buy cigars, and 9 times out of 10 they want to try something different. So let's work with it.
JJ, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think one of the common misconceptions is that us boutique guys are they're a cheap alternative to the Legacy, and it's not. I mean, we actually put more thought and more more of our resources, and I always said that us boutique guys, we're all the mad scientists, trying new things, and we always talk about the big legacy brands. They don't have to do anything different because they have a following. We have to go and make that different product, and I think that's a common misconception, is that we're selling, it's not very well thought out. It's not very, it's just a cheap alternative to a legacy, and it's really not. It's really quite the opposite,
But I'm also going to piggyback on what you also said not too long ago, Keith, is that it's the importance of you knowing your brand. Because the reality is, it's already an uphill battle as a boutique owner. And if you don't take the time to educate yourself on your own brand, how can you expect the consumer to have faith in your brand if you yourself don't know nothing about your brand? And listen, I've ran into those individuals. Hey, tell me about your cigar. Oh, well, that's the Maduro, that's the Habano, this is the Sumatra. Okay, that's fine, but where's it from? Like, where's your tobacco? Oh, yeah, in Nicaragua. Okay, but so what's in the filler? Like, what? I'm not asking you for your recipe.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reality is as an enthusiast, man, I've been smoking for 30 years. And I'm gonna afford you the opportunity to talk and talk me up. You know what I mean? So I could buy your cigars. And if it's everything that you claim it to be, guess what? I'm calling on my boys here, like, yo, Cromartie Cigars, but y'all gonna check. You gotta check this brother out. This brother got something good. And guess what? This is what's in it. Well, it's got this, it's got that, it's got this, and this. You know what I mean? So you gotta leave an impression. And sometimes, especially in these cutting lights, you got only that one shot. First impressions is everything in this business. And if you don't know your product, shame on you, number one. You know what I mean? And number two, in my opinion, you shouldn't be out there trying to promote your brand. You know what I mean? If you're not doing your due diligence on your own company, because if you have passing your own company, that's what I'm expecting from your product.
Exactly.
And that's keeping it 100. You know what I mean? And it's just, I can't tell you how many times I've gone into these little pop-up events and I run into people that have they don't have the slightest clue what's in their cigar. That's a valid point. But I'm sorry, JJ. On yours, but it's
very valid points. And we wholeheartedly believe that word of mouth is the best marketing. And right now, like I said, the burn line on this cigar, you can tell by the burn line, it's well-aged tobacco. That tells you right there. It's been fermented the right way. It's razor. I mean, it's clean. It's got a hell of a retro hell, which I like. I like a retro hell that lets you know you're smoking a cigar. Like I said, and that's what I love about boutique cigars, because, the blends, they surprise you. And a lot of times and you get that blend and that complexity at a price point you can't really find in some legacy cigars. And and I'm just telling you now, you have a platform here, so anytime you need anything shared, you want to come back on anytime.
Oh yeah, definitely I'll be back, man.
I'm going to pass you to PC, but before I do, I got to run a commercial, so we'll give us a little 50-second break, and we'll commence, my friends.
Good.
Savor every moment with Hayes Gray Cigars. Each blend is crafted for bold flavor, veteran-inspired character, and premium construction. From smooth and approachable to rich and complex in flavor, Hayes Gray delivers a cigar for every palate. Now available our new release, Irmãos do Mar. Order Hayes Gray Cigars online at Fat Boys Cigars and from Wolfpack Cigar Club and the Cigar Vault, Oakdale. Visit our website for a list of nationwide retail lounges and to grab some cool Hayes Gray merch to rep our brand. As always, we've got your sticks.
We got your sticks. So to answer the questions, yes, your boy Panda is standing up. As you guys know, your boy Panda is still recovering from his surgery. And today was just one of those days that
All right.
the last couple of weeks have been a little crazy for your boy. So your boy Payton is in a little discomfort today, more than normal, and so that's why I am not standing on phone books. I'm not sitting on phone books. I'm just standing. So yeah, these guys are busting my chops. I'm surprised Andrew hasn't jumped in more than once.
I'm telling you right now, with all the standing, them size 6s, they got to be getting tired, bro.
My dogs are barking, bro. My dogs are barking.
Getting tight on the seat.
I'm supposed to do.
Oh man, no,
They got the joke.
I can't even jump up and down right now, man. I'm just in such discomfort, man. But yeah, dude, listen. But like I said, to me, man, I honestly, truthfully believe that you definitely got something good here, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get that new blend out there, let us know. Reach out to us, man. We'll get you.
Oh yeah,
back.
definitely.
But guys, you gonna pass the mic to PC or what?
Yeah, man. Our own personal Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
PC, aka Silverback, brother. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. AKA Silverback. Keith, man, it's a pleasure, man. Forgive
Likewise,
me for being
brother.
late. As you can
All
see,
good. All good.
I'm in my office/studio.
On wheels.
But what we just finished talking about, we kind of brought that question up. How important is it, to know what's in your cigar? And I was kind of, I guess, I was feeling some type of way when I thought about it. I asked Don the question, and we kind of threw it backwards and forwards. But it's very important to know what you're smoking. And from a braggadocious point of view, like you said, it's something that you may say, hey, man, this is a great cigar. It's a Habano, it has Nicaraguan, and, all that good stuff to go along with it. So have you seen a lot of people just, being braggadocious about what they're smoking compared to other cigars? And then how do they treat your cigars when it comes to, big up and or putting it down?
It's hard. One guy had said the Maduro was harsh. He was like, got a little harsh at a certain point. And then I was like, what? Like, okay, you're the first person to say that. But all right. But I found out that the person who gave him the cigar, they didn't have a humidor. So it's just out and about, no proper humidity and things like that. I was like, oh, well, you can't ding me on that. But, I was like, I was like, hey, everybody has different palates. And, that's the first time I heard somebody say it was harsh. My Maduro was harsh because I intentionally wanted it to be smooth all the way through. And a lot of people have been smoking my cigars to the nub. Like, everybody's like, man, I've been burning my fingertips. I was like, okay, cool. So I was surprised, but I definitely just, took that consideration. I was like, all right, cool. I've had a few people, it's only, I can say 5 people since I've been in existence to say something on the opposite side. So one person was like, yeah, your Habano, I feel like it needs to be aged a little bit longer. I was like, oh, what do you mean? He was like, well, it's cool, but I think it just needs to be aged a little bit longer for my taste. I was like, oh, okay, well, everybody here has been enjoying it, but I'll take that into consideration. Thank you. But Luis, the owner of the factory, he kind of told me, he's like, hey, you coming out? He was like, you're young. Please be prepared to take the criticism that people are going to offer to you. He was like, usually
all feedback is good feedback.
Yeah, that's what he said. So I was like, all right, well, what do you mean? And then bam, that's when I started hearing it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. He was like, when I told him about the guy who said it could have been aged longer, he was like, well, I mean, it was already aged for 2 months. And we take our fermentation process very seriously when we lay out the polone and everything. And so I was like, yeah, I know, but I felt like I told Luis, I was like, yeah, I think you were right. Like, he just wanted to say something,
Right.
And he was just like, yeah, I start off with the Habanos of everyone's blend cigar brands because people have in his analogy that he used, I kind of just looked at him like, what? But his analogy that he used, he was like, I consider the Maduro to be the cigar of everyone's brand. He's like, when you get a plate of ribs and it's just a bunch of sauce all over it, Yeah, that's why I consider Maduro. So that's why I have the tendency of going to the Habano because like you can't fake the Habano. And I'm just like, okay, I got you. Noted, bro. I got you. And I kind of turn around, I'm like, what? Like I've never heard. I'm like ribs and cigar. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, okay, cool. Hey, that's what you wanted to say, but all right, it's fine. I shook his hand. Thanks for the advice, bro. And like when I told Luis, he was like, he could just say, hey man, like the fact of he was like, what he should have said to you was like, hey man, you know, I take my hat off to you, you being so young in the industry, because a lot of people are surprised, like. They're like, how old are you? You know, like, what do you know about cigars? And I'm like, I've been smoking since I was 16. You know, I'm 36, so just do the math. That's some years, you know.
Yeah. Right.
And you know, he was like, a lot of people they're gonna look at your age first, and it was like, well, what does this young dude know about cigars? Like, how did he get into it? And again, I'm not a nepo baby. You know, I literally just started something from the ground up. You know, I don't have family in the industry. You know, I didn't know anybody who owned a farm, a factory, or anything. I didn't know. So it's just a divine time and opportunity presented itself, and, you know, the rest is history. But the fact of with Luis and his uncle Juan Reyes, his uncle's been in the industry for about like 30, 40, maybe 50 years. He's the master blender at the factory. And so he's worked with Oliva. He's worked with Rocky Patel. He's very close friends with AJ Fernandez and things like that. So he's been, you know, in the industry for a long time. So the cool thing was, even though there's a huge language barrier, we started communicating using the translating app on the iPhone. So we're like, I'm texting and showing him the phone, and he's like, he was responding in Spanish, and he stops, like, wait, and then he's texting back, and then so that's how we were talking. But he was just really impressed with my palate. And so that's what I was real happy about. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm doing something. You know, for them not to look at me for my age, I was like, hey, you know, you have something here, like, let's try it, like, let's just keep it going, you know, and it was real cool. But I definitely noticed that there are some people who are going to look at my age and, you know, look at me a little like, this young dude don't know nothing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And again, I'm not a cigar, I'm just somebody who enjoys cigars, and the opportunity presents itself. That's it. You know,
No, that's pretty cool, man. That's really cool because I look at it like this. I wouldn't look at your age, me personally. This is just the way I see life. But as you stay in it, you're still going to be younger, but you're going to have that experience that go along. I'm all about the experience. These guys are telling all about the experience. Because
one night, I bet he said that 400 times.
And, you know, your experience is going to carry you where your age, you know, won't, you know. So you'll be able to walk in any door that you want to. And I'm saying this out of experience because I've been in a lot of doors where I shouldn't have been. But do you see your cigars elevating to a different height? Because this is actually a great cigar. You know, I'm not hyping things like that. How did you come up with the blends, and do you see it going into another realm?
Well, so when it came, like I said, when it came to the blends, like I was telling the guys earlier, I'm a Maduro smoker, so that's and it was like I said, it was a bit challenging to do a Habano because I was like, you know, I need that kick and things like that. And the guys, Luis and his uncle, had to remind me that, hey, you're doing this for the masses. Like, you can't make a cigar that, you know, only you're going to enjoy. You gotta make it to where everyone's going to be able to enjoy it. And so, like I said, I earlier, I was just real intentional with just making sure that it would be available for everybody. So, for example, when I did my first event last year in August, it was the Bay Royal Cigar Weekend event. And I was out. They did in different locations. They had 2 events in Oakland, California, and then they had the final event in San Francisco, California. And so that was my first, like, dang, I'm here. Like, this is really happening. So there was a total of in and out, like, total of 750 people. And so I actually was the only cigar vendor there. So they had the guy, his name is Ron. He had a rep from Leroy and 2 other cigar brands there passing out free sticks because, like, if you bought this, like, special cocktail that was like $25 or something, you got a free cigar of your choosing. And then people will go inside the venue and they see me. I had my table. My wife was sitting next to me. I had my banner and things like that. So people are like, oh, this is a free cigar. I'm like, no, you got to pay for it. It's okay, cool. So a lot of women were hesitant when it came to getting my cigars because it was like, well, I like flavored cigars. So I was like, well, I don't do flavored cigars at all. Like, I was like, these cigars are premium. There's no additives. You don't spray anything on there. It was like, well, is it sweet? I was like, well, the wrapper, both the wrappers kind of have like a sweet taste a little bit. Just depends on what you ate and, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like taken back because like I want to say like 25 women at the venue who came up to me. They were like, well, I never really smoked a cigar before. So I was like, oh, okay, well, do you know not to inhale, right? I was like, yeah. But, I used to smoke hookah and stuff. So they had a couple women had got the Habano, and they would come back to the table like, oh, my gosh, this is really good. Like, it's smooth, and I'm really enjoying it. This is great. Can I buy some more? I'm like, yeah, buy some more. Like 60 at that time. Yeah, it was like $16.99. So when I said $16.99, it was like, oh, $17. I was like, yeah, all right. So people were giving me $17, swiping, and like everybody was just walking around smoking my cigars. And then it came to the Maduro. Women were surprised how smooth the Maduro was, and so it was like, wow, like this is really good. I didn't expect this. Like I've always thought like cigars, is just super harsh. I was like, no, it just depends how you take care of them, the fermentation process. It really just depends on that. And I told them I was just real intentional in making sure the cigars are going to be enjoyable for everybody. So I really wanted to be like smooth, but just smooth enough. So like I said, you can smoke this at night, anytime. You can smoke both cigars any time of the day. And again, I definitely you can smoke the Habano after dinner, you can smoke the Maduro after dinner and things like that. You can pair it with wine. Like I personally, I'll drink a cab when it comes to smoking my cigars occasionally. Again, I'm a huge bourbon drinker, so I'm actually sipping on this Old Hillside. It's a rye. So I'm just sipping on that with the cigars and just enjoying it. But it was just real. It was a great welcoming feeling to just see people take a chance on buying my cigar for the first time. And again, at that day I had like, I had like 250. Yeah, I had 250 cigars on me that day. If I would have stayed the whole event, I would have sold out. Like I would have sold out. Like people were just coming back to the table buying them. It's like, man, this is great. I'm gonna buy some for my husband. I'm gonna buy some for my friend. Like everybody was just doing it. So I was real happy about that. But I definitely wanted to make sure when it came to making the blends that people were going to enjoy it. So like I said, the Maduro, it's a Puro, so everything's from Nicaragua, wrapper, filler, and binder, Nicaraguan. And like I said, when it comes to the Habano, it's a Honduran wrapper and Nicaraguan filler and binder. So yeah, but I think I hit the mark, and nail on the head with that. And do I see it like going to the next level? Yeah. Like to be honest with you guys, 2023. That's when I kind of had the idea, hey, maybe I can do something. And so me and my wife, we went to Costa Rica for her birthday. And so every time I travel, I always have to do something when it comes to cigars. And I had an opportunity to go to this factory called Don Benino in Costa Rica. And so the guy took me in the back. He took us in the back, gave us a quick tour. We seen the Boncheros doing the cigar rolling, everything cutting. And so the thing about their cigars is that they actually put a Cuban leaf, their Cuban leaf Ligero, in it to add that intensity to all their cigars. So I was like, okay, cool. So, we get back to the resort. My wife was like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday next year? And again, it was going to be 2024. I was like, you know what? I think I want to go to the DR, and I'm going to knock on some doors and see about, getting in the cigar business. She was like, really? I'm like, yeah. So she's like, well, do you know any factories? I was like, no, but I'm going to find out. Like, I'm going to research and check them out and see what's up. And so, and like after that, like I said, I had, it was either going to be, like I was telling the guys earlier, I kind of wanted to either do a lounge or do a brand. So I had like a name already for the lounge. It was going to be called the Crow's Nest. I found out there's one on the East Coast spot called the Crow's Nest. So I was like, all right, well, I'll do it right here in the West Coast. And so then I just started having a bunch of different names. So right now I got like 32 different names of cigar lines that I want to do underneath the Cromartie brand.
Nice.
And so the first one, so the first one is going to be, me and my dad, that's the cigar that me and my dad are going to work on. So we got the name. Right now I'm working on the cigar band, trying to figure out the packaging and things like that. So it's probably going to be a torpedo, but we're going to make it stronger than the Maduro that I have now. So it's going to have a little, I want that series that I do with my dad to be like the heavy hitters when it comes to my brand.
Yeah.
So I'm already, like I told the guys earlier, I'm already gonna tweak the cigar bends a little bit, make it embossed, make it pop more. I'm gonna keep the boxes, kind of make the gold stand out a little bit more and things like that. So yeah, I do see there's a high level of premium when it comes to it. I think they're selling my cigars at Tap and Ash for like maybe like 19 or $20, so around there, and people buying it. So I was like, all right, well, there you have it. The people are spoken. So yeah, but I see it going to the next level.
So are you based out of Cali?
Yeah. I'm born and raised San Francisco, man. I'm not a Niners fan though. I'm not a Niners fan. I told them earlier, I'm a Saints fan. That's why.
It's all good. I had
good.
I had a chance to visit San Francisco, man.
Okay, cool.
And I had an amazing time out there, man.
It's
I
good.
spent close to a week out there. So I'm looking forward to getting out there. If I do, I want to look you up.
Yeah, man.
And it's amazing to me that I love the energy about what you're doing and your cigars and stuff like that, man. I want to say, and I think I speak for the guys, man. Anytime you want to come back, man, you're more than welcome. Hit any one of us up, and we'll schedule that thing. And most definitely, we want to breaking news on those other 32 cigars that you plan.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm excited. I learned.
Yeah, tell the people anything that's on your mind right now, man.
Yeah, I learned being in this industry for 1 year. Last month, July was a year since I've been here. I learned that people want to see me just be my authentic self. And so that's why I really appreciate you pointing that out. And it's never been a situation where somebody was like, I think he's fronting. And I really appreciate that. Because again, doing an interview and just talking to people about my brand, I was like, it's fun, and I realized like I'm still a student in the game. I'm a fan, number one, of the cigar industry. So like years prior, like I think Instagram came out like in 2012. And so like I had 2017, I was like, let me take the cigar thing a little bit more seriously. So I just started following different brands and like, like I said, I'm a fan, so I follow Aroma Craft. I love their cigars that they have coming out. Padilla cigars are pretty good. I definitely enjoy Oliva. So those, the nubs. So me and my dad, we like short sticks. We like moving and grooving and doing things like that. And so I got drawn to that, and I started watching interviews, and I realized that people, everyone who comes out with a brand has a story. And every time they come out with a cigar line underneath their brand, it has a story. So, like I said, I wanted to focus on 2 cigars to set the foundation of Cromartie Cigars. And then, like I said, the cigar I'm going to do with my dad, I want that to, embody him, represent him. I'm even planning on coming out with a cigar for my wife. I got that, I got a whole thought process when it comes to that. My wife, she doesn't smoke cigars per se. She'll puff on mine every once in a while, and like she'll start coughing. I'm like, babe, don't inhale. just puff and blow. So we did a cigar etiquette class out here in the Bay. The guy who runs his name is Marco. His class is called Hercules. And so, I took it to the class and we vibed out. It was a cool experience. But I definitely just want to make sure every time I put something out, it's tied to me. And, even I was in a motorcycle club a few years back. The first one I was in there with my dad. And then I wound up leaving that because I got older. And I was like, I want to do my own thing, And I joined another club. So I'm doing a cigar based off of that experience of being in my second club. I actually wanted to be in the chapter president. So I was real happy about that. Even in high school, I used to wrestle. I'm planning on doing a cigar based off of my high school the color scheme, and I have an idea for that. So I pretty much everything that comes out from Cromartie Cigars is going to be personally tied to me. So that's something that I want people to look out for. There's always going to be a story with something. Even with my twin daughters, they're So I have an idea of doing a barber pole based off of them. Barber pole cigar based off of them. They're fraternal twins. They're 2 different shades of chocolate. So I was like, okay, barber pole. Like I was like, bet, like I'm gonna do that. And I was like, okay. And I'm real excited about that. And it was funny because I have the picture of me and my wife and our daughters, holding up the cigar boxes, and I was like, that just means a lot to me right there. And I was like, okay, well, I'm doing it for not only myself, but I'm doing it for my wife, my daughters, my parents, my sister. And just doing it like that. Building a legacy. So that's why I really want to do.
Before I pass it along, can you run one more of our sponsors, man?
Yes, sir. I got you. Yeah, here we go, Bubba.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Cigar Vault Oakdale, one of the premier boutique cigar lounges serving the Pittsburgh area. Located in Oakdale, Pennsylvania, the Cigar Vault isn't just a shop, it's a destination. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just getting into the culture, they've built a space where cigars, conversation, and community come together. Inside, you'll find a carefully curated humidor packed with premium and boutique brands, plus a laid-back lounge atmosphere that makes you want to stay, light up, and connect. Open 7 days a week, they've become a go-to spot for locals and travelers alike looking for a top-tier cigar experience. So if you're anywhere near Oakdale, or just want to support a shop that truly gets cigar culture, check out the Cigar Vault Oakdale. Light one up and tell them Leaf and Ash sent you.
Tell them Leaf and Ash sent you.
Now this Maduro in my palate, it's like a cocoa, like a chocolate bomb, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely got some pepper in this bad boy. There's some leather in it. Like I said, it's everything I check off. I like a good, naturally sweet wrapper that's on here.
Right. That's what it is.
Yeah, and you got to tell me, where can I order some more of these, man? Because like I said, I'm enjoying the Habano. I really want to order some, so I want to set them in this. I have 2 humidors. I got one humidor I smoke out on a daily basis, and one for special, occasions and stuff like that.
I got you. Yeah. Like I said, if you ever come to Cali, I'm in 2 locations at the moment. One called Stogies Lounge in Lodi, and then one in Burlingame called Don's Tobacconist. And then if anybody wants to order, just go to my Instagram page, Cromartie Cigars. And just send a DM, and we'll make it from there. Like we'll do, I can do a Cash App, Venmo, Apple Pay, whatever's covered, and Zelle. We can go from there and make it happen, and then I'll just ship them out to you.
Okay, great. And I got one thing to say to the guy that criticized your cigar, man. That somebody crazy. We have a rule around here. If you smoke it once and it doesn't hit your palate like you think, buy at least 2. Set them in your humidor. Let them marinate to your liking because you have primed your humidor. Yeah. And then when the time is right, then smoke the cigar.
Exactly. Like you telling the truth, man. You telling the truth, Easy. Like honestly, I do that on my own when I order cigars online. I go to Cigar Page, and again, like even though I got my own brand, like I smoke this the most. I smoke my cigars the most, but I was like, wait, that's inventory. Like I was like, slow down. So I just did another large order, and every time I get an order of cigars online, like I'll smoke one, taste it, see what it is, and I just leave it in my humidor, let it rest, let it acclimate for a couple of weeks, and then pick it up again. And I'm like, that cigar that guy had, again, it was not humidified. It was just sitting out in someone's car. It was like, here, try this. So it's like,
That's not a good experience.
And with that being said, man, I'm gonna pass it back up to my man Panda.
All good.
Before you do, I got one question for. So we like to play a game here, and we're going to play here in a minute. But we like to play a game here called One's Got to Go. But before we do that, if your parents are still on the podcast, I'm going to make them make Sophie's choice here between the Maduro and the Habano. Which one's your favorite?
It's hard. I can't.
One gotta go.
So Mom and Pop, if you're still on, chime in. Let us know which one's your favorite.
Everyone gets it. Everyone gets it.
Man, it's hard, man. I mean, I got twin daughters. I can't just pick. I got twin girls, man. That's like pick which one. I can't. It's real challenging. And then I can do, and again, like I smoke Maduros in the morning. So like I'll wake up, I'll cut this open, I'll smoke it. But then there's a point in time where I'll smoke my Habano after dinner. So it literally just depends on the time. So it's real tough. Now, did I answer that? I'll try. It's real challenging. I'm gonna have to say it's the time of day. It depends. It depends what mood I'm in, man. If I'm happy, okay. When I'm happy, I smoke both. So again, like it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. If I had a bad day, I'll probably smoke both. Like so it's tough. maybe when I get a couple more sticks, like I'll rank them. When I get this next cigar out with my dad, I'll be able to rank it. And I might that one with my dad might be my favorite because again it's something I'm working with him, the guy who introduced me to cigars. So that might be my number one for a certain time. But then the cigar I'm gonna do based off my wife, that'd be my number one too, because like I'm basically planning that cigar off the fact of the day when I proposed to her. And so I was playing this song. I don't know if you guys remember Jackson 5, but they had this song called My Forever Came Today. And so that day I was playing the song. You know, I'm taking a shower. I'm playing the song over and over. And my wife was like, why you keep playing this song? I was like, oh, today's going to be a great day. I could feel it. You know, it feels good, you know.
All right, here we go. Spoken like a true dad. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm with it though.
So Keith, I got two questions left, and then we're gonna do our one must go. You know, I'm gonna kind of take the conversation back a little bit because you know, like we said prior to, right? If you are going to Habano,
mom picked Habano, dad picked Bo.
Going back to like I said the previous convo in regards to like criticism, right? Because you gotta have thick skin if you're getting into this business, man.
Yeah.
I've always got the rule of 5, right? If I give 5 people my cigar, right, and 3 of them like it, and the other 2 don't, I got a good hit. You know what I mean? If the shoe's on the other foot, right, I got 5 people, 3 don't like it, and 2 like it, then I might have to go back to the drawing board. So when you get approached with that type of criticism, how do you go about handling it? Because without taking it personal, that's the big issue, right? Not to take it personal because you want that criticism, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
Because, like I said, if you have multiple people saying the same thing, like if somebody came to you that day and said, "Listen, it's bitter, it's turned too bitter, it's a little earthy, too earthy for me," and then you get another person, another one, and then there's something for you to kind of consider, right? How do you go about handling that type of criticism?
It's tough, like you said, Panda. Being in this industry, yeah, you have to have tough skin, but I also feel like you have to have tough skin in life. And so, my parents raised me. They were like, "Look, not everybody's gonna like you." I was like, "Okay, well, why?" It's just like it just happens like that. There's gonna be somebody who's like, "Man, I don't like him. He's just too cool." Like, it's gonna be something. And so from there, they were like, "Hey, when it comes to doing your business, just be understanding that, hey, like you said earlier, all criticism is good criticism." And again, for example, I had another person, and again, I've always had just like one person say something throughout the year of me being existing. It'd be like one person said this. So the first iteration of cigars, for example, the first batch, it kind of looked like a Toro. And so my cigars are Gran Robusto, so 5-inch, 60 ring gauge. And so it kind of was a little bit longer. So one guy said, "Hey, like your cigar doesn't feel full all the way." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Around the cigar band, it's a little, it's like a little soft." And so I was like, "Okay, thanks for the feedback." And I was like, "All right, well, if he says it, then maybe 10 other people are going to say it." Fortunately, it wasn't 10 other people, it was just him. But I took that, talked to Luis and his uncle, and explained to them like, "Hey, someone's been saying that, hey, this feels a little bit, it doesn't feel full all the way." And so they was like, "Okay, well, we kind of did that to kind of let the airflow go when you're drawing from the cigar, but we'll work on it." So what they do, the next order that I did, they worked on it. So they made sure it was a Gran Robusto 5-inch. They made sure it was that. They felt from the head to the foot of the cigar, and I made sure that, hey, it was full and nobody wouldn't say it. Now, again, it was just that one person. I haven't heard anybody say it since. So, I definitely just take it as advice. Go back to the drawing board and figure it out. Fortunately, I haven't had anyone say too much. And again, it was that another one person who said it was harsh, but again, it was not in a humidor. It was just sitting in somebody's car in the sun, and then they passed it to them. So I was like, all right, well, I can't do nothing about that. You can have that with any cigar, So I just took it on the chin and just took it as advice and just learned it. But just understand that, hey, it's okay. Not everybody's gonna like you. You know, I'm not a. You guys like Gurkha? You like Gurkha cigars?
Some.
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah. See, so again, so I'm like, when it comes to Gurkha, I'm like, you know, I've had like one cigar from Gurkha. I was like, oh, this is really good, but the other ones, I was like, it's all right. Now, again, I haven't met a lot of people who enjoy Gurkha cigars, but you know, they're making their money. They're
Right.
doing their thing. Marketing is A1, you know, so it is what it is.
Marketing, listen, if they would spend more money on their production as opposed to their marketing, you know, but you also got to understand Gurkha back in the mid 90s, early 2000s, when they were working with Plasencia.
That's what I heard.
Really good tobacco.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
what I heard.
and I'm the first one to say that I used to be a Gurkha smoker back in the day, but once the ish hit the fan and the CEO opened his mouth and stepped on himself, and made himself like a complete a-hole. I mean, look what happened. Every major tobacco factory parted ways. You know what I mean? And it goes to show you when you no matter how big, how small your brand is. You gotta be careful what you say, right, and how you talk.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Representation matters.
Of course. And then listen, it's one thing to talk about it behind closed doors with close friends, right? And there's another thing to be a complete jackass and go on Instagram or whatever platform and broadcast it to the world. Everyone knew and knows who Gurkha is, and it's sad. I mean, mind you, it's been an uphill battle. I know that the CEO stepped down and they're trying to revamp it and they reached to the major factories, which is, I think it was like 2-3 years ago. They did a collaboration with a lot of big brand owners like Ipico Rio, AJ Fernandez, and to try to help them. But and like I said, don't get me wrong, their swag is top notch.
Yeah.
The only one that I see that ever competes with Gurkha is Drew Estate. You know what I mean? They have some badass freaking swag, man. But,
yeah, they definitely do. I was like, it's pretty tight. I like they had the spray can torch. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, I ain't never seen that. That was really dope. Yeah, there you go. I wanted one. I think Cigars Daily had like a deal. You buy a box, you get that. I was like, all right, but
I got a couple of them. I got a couple.
See, that's real cool.
He's the king of swag. Yeah, he's got a whole spare bedroom. I wish
it doesn't help that they're selling cigars at $10,000 a box either.
Right.
It's crazy, man. But all right, man. Final question, Keith. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, or where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years?
I'm gonna have to say next 5 years, a few more states. I definitely want to branch out nationwide. And if I have an opportunity, because I can export, worldwide too, register a brand in Nicaragua. So yeah, I think I'd be real happy.
To see you in Georgia.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm planning on heading down there. I'm planning on heading down there. So yeah, I
got a couple places states. For you.
All right,
I got a couple places for you.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Another guy tried to invite me to Atlanta Cigar Week. He's like, "You want to come?" I'm like, "All right." He's like, "Yeah, we'll get you set up." Now, I called him crickets. I ain't heard from him. That was last year. So I was like, I don't know. He came up to me. He was like, "Hey, take down my number. Let's talk. I think your cigar do real good." He brought up what's his name? Cam Jordan. No, wait, is it Cam Jordan?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, there we go. See, see Cam Newton. And he was like, yeah, he got a lounge, man. You can come up in here. And, I was like, okay, well, I'll call you. And again, crickets. I ain't heard from him since. So, yeah, I definitely have plans on heading down to Georgia. But I was like, I lost and learned in this industry. A lot of people love talking. So people, I know who's serious in the industry. I know who's not serious. And, I've been shaking a lot of hands. So I learned that real quick. I'm like, all right, people just want to talk just to hear themselves talk. It is what it is.
I honestly listen, man. I'm not trying to sell you on anything, man. But I think you need to come on the TPA on one of our meetings, just so you can see what we're about. I think that the TPA would do well for you, because like I said, you have a lot of consumers, a lot of brand owners that can kind of give you the East Coast kind of version of things.
Yeah.
I mean, things are a little
Cool.
different on the East Side.
Right.
Also, we got mobile lounge owners that go place to place.
That's
You know what I
cool.
mean?
That's cool.
And once again, like I said, lounge owners, brand owners, and like I said, the biggest thing is the consumers.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll definitely talk. I'll get you tomorrow's an open meeting. Oh, there you go. Tomorrow's an open meeting. So if you're available tomorrow, let me know if you're interested, and I'll send you the link.
I got you.
Like I said, listen, we'll let you come in, as a guest, so you can see what it's about. I honestly think that you will benefit, because we all do cross promotion.
That's cool.
And there's over 140 members right now.
Nice.
And we're in all different states. We're talking about going to different states. It's a good way to network. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think like I said, I ain't trying to sell you on nothing, but I think
I got you.
benefit. I think that we could help each other out, no doubt. But with that being said, JJ, it's that time, baby.
All right, this is a game that I came up with a few weeks back. It's meant to be lighthearted fun, to create a little division among the guys. And some weeks it's harder than others, but I'm going to run the little intro real quick, and we'll get right into it.
All right, let's do it.
One, it's gotta go, brought to you by Tuba.
All right, now this week's one's got to go is bourbon.
Ooh, you got the bourbon. The one must go bourbon.
And it's going to be Wild Turkey Rare Breed, Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, Buffalo Trace, and Basil Hayden. What says you, Don?
Wow.
Man. So Basil Hayden, Woodford Double Oak.
Yes.
Straight up Buffalo Trace.
Straight
And
up
what was the other one?
Rare Breed.
And I love all of those.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yes.
Man. Golly. For me, oh man, I feel like I'm choosing between my kids again here. So for me,
like that.
I love the Woodford Double Oak. I absolutely love Basil Hayden.
Yes.
JJ, you introduced me to the Rare Breed, which was fantastic. So for me, the straight Buffalo Trace has got to go. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I said that.
Yep.
What says you? What says you, PC?
Oof.
What's the first one? I think it's the Basil Hayden. I think the Basil Hayden has to go because I haven't had it. The other three I have. So.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Panda?
Yeah, and the crazy part that I pulled up this bottle, right? Because I've been on this Basil Hayden malted rye, right?
Oh, good, right?
And this is ridiculous, man.
So
but
good.
I'm not gonna go based on this. I'm going based on the regular Basil Hayden, not the rye, not the malted rye. The red, I absolutely love the Red Breed. I love Buffalo, Buffalo Trace with the good old fashioned. If someone knows how to, mix it well. I'm gonna have to say Basil Hayden. I'm gonna have to say the basic Basil Hayden.
Okay. What says you, Keith?
Buffalo Trace. Like I got a Buffalo Trace. Now,
Man.
again, when it comes to Basil Hayden, it is like Panda said, it's a good mixture for me. Like cocktail wise, but drinking it straight up, honestly, I really enjoy high proof bourbons. Like, so it's kind of tough, but I have to say Buffalo Trace got to go. Like, just just put it to the side.
And as hard as it is, I have to say the same thing about Buffalo Trace. Because that double oak, it's near and dear to my heart, and
Yes.
Even the basic, even the regular Woodford is absolutely delicious, man.
Yes, so much flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
Man, almost missed the show. Hope what's going on, brother?
Still showed up.
Hey, but while we at it though, let me give a shout out to my man Nate Miller again. He hit me up like, "Where you at, PC man?" And I was like, I'm coming, man. You know how we do. So I just want to say what's up to my man Nate.
Where do you know how that's going to go?
Angel, I'm going to put that back up. Angel, just based on last night, one's got to go. It's got to be Panda.
Yeah.
Cold.
Listen, thank you, JJ. Thank you. Listen, I go based on the question that was like an Angel put me on the spot, man. He made me choose between my boys, right?
Wait, we already proved last week that we can replace Panda.
That's true. Hey, I've never denied that. And matter of fact, JJ, why don't you show the honors of who can run the show? Go ahead.
Thugalicious, baby.
Thugalicious.
Thug life.
What you talking about, fool?
That's crazy.
Cold.
You know,
Hey, one's got to go. I'm gonna say this. One's got to go. Angel, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Angel,
Trying to separate my boys, man.
Look, the consensus are Panda, my own boy.
Panda for sure. Cold.
Look at this one. Look at this one.
Doing you dirty, Panda.
Oh, with Robert, I'm surprised he spelled Panda right.
He looked it up. You know
Love
what I
you,
mean?
Rob. Love you, buddy.
Oh man, listen, hey Keith, man, we greatly appreciate you taking the time and chopping it up with us, man.
Before we say Panda, how can you make this go though?
But wait, since we're airing it all out, there's one more.
Oh, oh my Lord, man.
JJ, I thought we were in this together. JJ,
I have a lot of fun making these guys. And I just say, when it's my turn, I deserve everything they throw at me.
All the smoke.
It is coming.
Watch yourself around here. Don't get caught.
Yeah, I see.
But hey, listen, it's all love, right? You know, we all
top.
we got nothing but love, you know, for one another, man.
Gotta have the shenanigans.
Heck yeah. I listen, Keith, like I said, when you're ready to launch that next blend, let us know, man. We'll get you on, man, and help you promote. You know what I mean? And definitely, guys, I'll tell you that Habano, I enjoy the heck out of it. I nub the hell out of it. I mean, that's all I left of it.
Good love.
Yeah, man. So once again, you know, guys, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that all notifications that anytime we go live, you guys get notified. As you know, from time to time, we do like doing these pop-ups, just chopping it up, and we got football coming up.
Yeah.
We got football coming up.
Cowboys suck.
Saints. They do, but they do.
Well, college, we all know is all about the U. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you forgot the O in front of that U. Oh, sorry.
Whoa. Such hostility. But listen, guys, once again, hit that subscribe button. And like I said, we're still getting to 1,000. We're slowly creeping up. We're almost at 700 followers. And show that love. Show this brother some support. You know, reach out to him, get his smokes, because I'm telling you guys will not be disappointed. As always, we appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one. What is it, guys?
Hey, Keith, hang out for a second after we're done.
I got you.